welcome back to our Crafting Wednesday. I'm Amy, and today we're going to be talking about how to fit writing into your summer and how to make practical goals to accomplish during the summer. It's so easy to watch the summer months fly by before you get to do anything productive. And so I am going to help you go back to school feeling accomplished and productive.
What is word crafting, and why does it matter? Word crafting is creating words with skill and giving them your own clever and creative flair. But we don't just stop there. We explore how your physical, mental, and emotional state affects the beauty that you create and ways to help you stay healthy as you create a story that changes lives.
Now, I'm going to acknowledge that there are two types of people in the world: the planner and the person who tends to do things more impulsively. Of course, there are lots of different types of people out there, so if you don't fit into category A or category B, I'm trusting you to be smart enough to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you out of these two suggestions. Because of this, I'll be giving two options to follow this summer. I'm going to start with more of the planner, but if you're more of the person who likes to fly by the seat of their pants, feel free to skip ahead. For me personally, I love plans and to-do lists. I find that I'm most productive and therefore happier with myself if I have a secure plan and to-do list. And I mean, there's like just this thrill to cross off things on your to-do list and realize you only have 3 more things to do before you can like do whatever. I mean, who doesn't love that? But unfortunately, because of that, I'm also a bit of a workaholic, which means I overestimate what I can do with the time and energy that I have. To begin with, I'm going to highly encourage you to print out a calendar of the next 2 months and write in all the events and activities that you have that will take mental energy or require you to be out of the house. Now, for some of you, that might be vacations. For others, it might just be doing the laundry. It really doesn't matter how big or small it is. If it's time that you know you'll have to put somewhere else, block it off. You might even decide to block it off for a summer bucket list or some other kind of recreation so you're not spending all of your time in your bedroom. In fact, I do this since I tend to forget that I have a physical body. Weird. I know. And I don't exercise or get out of the house unless I block off time. Because of this, my mental and emotional energy plummets, leaving me feeling drained and exhausted, but without being able to sleep. Once you've done this, and you have a realistic idea of how many hours a day you can put into writing and how many hours a day you want to put into writing, because let's be honest, you don't want to spend hours sitting there in front of a computer all the time. No one does. Your eyes get tired. But what if you don't know what project to move forward with? In this case, I have a very simple, 5-step structure that you can follow. So first, write down everything you could possibly want to do. Now, for some people this might be overwhelming, so just skip this, because if you know that you know what you want to do, I mean, I tend to be like that. I know what I want to do, and I don't need to do this because, whatever. Okay, but write down everything you could possibly want to do. And this list might be 3 pages long, that's okay. You can dream as big as you want to dream, or as little as you want to dream. It's just up to you. Second, you already have your calendar, so you can compare the two to figure out what you can realistically do and see how much time you have from that calendar to invest in these things. Thirdly, again, look at the list and think realistically, what do you want to do? Maybe you don't want to sing in the church choir 6 times this summer. Maybe you just don't want to do it. You do. You're like, oh, good, this will be an awesome thing to do. But then you're like, you know what? Realistically, I don't want to do that. Fifth, Or is that fourth? I always lose count. I think it's fourth. Fourth. Figure out how much time out of the things that you've picked that you realistically want to do it'll take. And then fifth, when you finally do all of this, you can narrow it down to the things you will actually be doing. Now you can move on to your writing goals. Some people like to make goals using word counts, and I wouldn't discourage that. However, if you're not used to writing, you haven't had as much time to strengthen your writing muscle. So it's more rewarding to have hour goals. What are hour goals? Glad you asked. Hour goals are where you come up with an amount of hours that you want to spend writing over the summer. For some people, that might be 20 hours. Others, it might be even 100, like if you're dreaming big. Regardless, you will divide that time throughout your summer and spend daily allotments of writing time. Now, this is best if you want to start building consistency in your writing journey. When you have your time to write daily, it means blocking out all distractions. Turn your computer on airplane mode or use a website like the Most Dangerous Writing app. I would also encourage you to get away from your family, away from the TV, and maybe even away from the window. I know that for me personally, I tend to start sneaking looks out the window being like, hey, what's going on in the world outside? Now, if you enjoy less structure and prefer more of a sporadic schedule, I would encourage word counts. Word counts allow you to knock off lots of words one day and not touch your writing the next. Of course, this is where procrastination can bite. I personally try to write every day, regardless of what I'm writing, but that's a video for another time. Break up the hours that you're writing if you like a sporadic schedule and you still decide to do hour goals. Take time in between your hours and do push-ups or go on a walk or take a shower. Anything to tie you to this physical world, but still let your mind focus on your project. Now, I know what you're all thinking. It's summer. We're supposed to be having fun. And every time you reach a milestone in your goal, like maybe 25 hours out of the 100, take a day off, if you can, and get a Starbucks drink or have a water balloon fight. Do something out of the ordinary, causing you to be thrilled to check another 25 off of your goal. Your goal should be fun, not another chore that keeps you from having fun. And if you realize halfway through the summer that your goal is impractical, don't beat yourself up. I mean, we all overestimate how much we can do in a year and underestimate what we can do in a lifetime. I actually took that from another writer, so that quote is not for me. Take time to evaluate how far you've come and see if you'll be able to double that by the end of the summer. If you can't, it's still a success. And you should still celebrate. You did more this summer than you would have done otherwise. Whether you're a planner or not, the bottom point stays the same. Just write. That's simple. Just write. It could be a daily journal or a short story, or maybe if you're like an overachiever, a novel. It's all the same. As long as you're writing, you're getting closer to your final goal. Thank you so much for joining me for this Word Crafting Wednesday. If you enjoyed this and want to see my writing skits that I do every Saturday, subscribe down below and turn on the bell notifications to be notified when I post. Or just come check every other Wednesday for Word Crafting Wednesday and once a week for my skits. Now, you're like, hey, I want to follow her elsewhere. Well, you're in luck because I put my links down below, and I also put links for tons of different writing resources for you to check out because we all need those resources, you know? Now, give this a thumbs up if you found this helpful, and comment down below what you plan to do this summer, if this was helpful, and what your favorite summer activity is, because we all love summer and there's lots of fun activities we can do, and I want to know what your favorite is. Now, If you have any questions that you want me to answer on Word Crafting Wednesday, do not feel shy about posting them, commenting them down below. Posting them, commenting them, same thing, you know. I want to answer your questions and make sure that you get all the answers you need on your writing journey.